Let's move to the next section, which is 80IBA, which is again available to companies. 80IEB talks about profit and gains from housing projects. Here, housing projects should be approved after June 1, 2016, but only before March 31, 2019. Also, it should be completed within 5 years from the date of its first approval. Not only this, the carpet area of the shops and other commercial establishment in the housing project should not exceed 3% of the aggregate carpet area of the project. Also, if the project is located within the cities of Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata or Mumbai, then the area of plot of land should not be less than 100 square meter, and if it is any other place except Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata and Mumbai, it should be not less than 2000 square meter. So, if all these conditions are fulfilled under 80IBA, then the amount of deduction is 100% of the profits. Next section is 80ID, which is available for companies again. It covers profits of hotels and convention centers. Here, the taxpayer should be engaged in the business of hotel, which should be located in a specified area, or in the business of building or owning and operating a convention center, which should also be located in a specified area. Also, it should be a new business, and therefore, if all these conditions are fulfilled, then the deduction will be 100% of the profit for the first 5 years. Now, as I have mentioned earlier that the hotel and the convention center should be in specified area. What are these specified areas? The specified areas include 2 or 3 or 4-star hotel or convention center in India, that is in the areas of Delhi, Faridabad, Gurgaon, Gautam Budh Nagar and Ghaziabad. Also, the hotel or convention center should start functioning during April 1, 2007 and July 1, 2010. So, this was all about 80ID. Next section is 80IE. 80IE talks about profits of undertakings in northeast states. Now, this section says that a taxpayer who begins manufacture or production of goods or eligible services during April 1, 2007 and March 31, 2017 can claim deduction under 80IA. Now, deduction is not available in respect of manufacture or production of tobacco, pan masala, plastic carry bags or less than 20 UPM of goods produced by petroleum oil and gas refineries. Eligible services, what are they? Eligible services include 2-star above hotel, nursing home or old age homes, vocational training institution, IT related training center or IT hardware units and biotechnology. So, if all these aforesaid activities are taking place in northeast states, then the deduction is 100% of the profits for the next 10 years. Next topic is 80JJA. 80JJA is profits from business of collecting and processing of biodegradable waste. This section says that the taxpayer, if he is engaged in the business of collecting, processing or treating of biodegradable waste or generation of power of producing biofertilizer or biopesticide or other biochemical agents for producing biogas or for making fuel or organic manure, then such a taxpayer, which is a company, can claim deduction under 80JJA. Now, the deduction will be 100% of the profits from these activities for the first 5 years. This is a simple section. This is all about 80JJA. Next section is 80JJAA. This section sounds quite similar to the section that I have just mentioned, that we have just done, which is 80JJA, but 80JJAA that we are going to do now talks about employment of new employees, totally different from what we have just done. This section covers those assessee who have been covered by section 44AB and the business is not formed by splitting up or reconstruction of an existing business. If this condition is satisfied, then the assessee can claim deduction of 30% of the additional employee cost, which will be deductible for 3 assessment year. Now, what is an additional employee cost? It can either be an existing business or it can be a business which starts newly. So, for an existing business, what is your additional employee cost? Additional employee cost will be nil if there is no increase in the number of employees from that of the last day of the preceding year, or any amount which is paid otherwise than by an account pay check or bank draft or by the use of an electronic clearing system. So, for an existing business, there will be no additional employee cost if there are 2 things as I have mentioned above. One is that there is no increase in employees from that of the last day of the preceding year, and even if there is an increase in the employees, then the payment made to the employees is by any mode other than by an account pay check or bank draft or the use of an electronic clearing system. Now, for the new business which is just started, what will be your employee cost? So, additional employee cost would mean any employee which has been given salary, but it will not include the following employees. What are these employees? Number 1, any employee whose salary is more than 25,000 per month. Number 2, any employee for whom the entire contribution is paid by the government under PF regulation. Number 3, any employee which is employed for a period of less than 240 days, but in case of a business of manufacture of apparel or footwear or leather products, it is 150 days. Last but not the least, any employee who does not participate in the recognized PF. So, if there is any of these employees, then they will not be included in additional employee for new employee cost. So, this was section 80 JJAA. Last section which is available to companies is 80 LA, which talks about income of offshore banking units. Here it says that any scheduled bank or a foreign bank having an offshore banking unit in an SEZ can claim deduction of 100% of the income for 5 years. This section is the simplest and the smallest which is available for companies. This we finished with all the deductions from section 80C to 80U which are available only to companies.